Hey everybody, it's Marty the JavaScript Party and my buddy Rhett. Hey Rhett. And she's been totally quiet since I brought her in, just dead quiet until we started this video. Um, so we're working on some code. It is 8:21 in the morning, so I still have 39 minutes before I have to start work. Isn't that right, Rhett? We've got 39 minutes. Now I always put Rhett up right after these videos are over. Because they can't really have her in here while I'm working because we get phone calls. I have to talk to my coworkers and stuff like that. And as you can see, she gets pretty crazy. Um, but anyways, it is like 65 degrees out here Fahrenheit. So it is nice and warm. Um, we are supposed to have a 38-degree day next Tuesday, which is pretty crazy. So it kind of stinks because I have some plants that I put outside when it gets warm, and I think I'm going to have to bring them back in. And some of them have sort of heavy pots that they're in. So I got my work cut out for me for next probably Monday, unless something changes. Rhett, what are you doing? Yeah, we're ready. We got to do this. So yesterday I was a bit frustrated because like this wasn't working. This animations wasn't working kind of like I was hoping. And now that I look at it, and then I was like thinking to myself, man, the problem is that we've scaled up, and as we've scaled up, trying to understand everything that's happening everywhere is getting more and more difficult. Um, and so maybe I need to start building out some architectural drawings or something like that. Um, but then this morning when I looked at that, I realized that the modulus, it's whenever the modulus is equal to index. So that is the problem. So what I needed to do is when modulus is equal to 0. And I kind of like having the variable on the left. It doesn't have to be on the left, but so like when modulus is equal to 0 of 4, then so what I'm hoping to see is that this guy and this guy are animated. Yep, and they're now this one got a double animation because I call the animator twice. I noticed. So let's not set the animations up until they're all done. So, and this emulates sort of a button click a lot better um, than a lot better than before when we were just building all the all the renderers out in here. And then what is up, Fred? I'm coding. Okay. I had noticed I made the observation to my wife that whenever I start to go on sort of these more personal rants that she tends to misbehave, but when I get more technical, she doesn't. But now today she's proven me wrong. All right, let's see. Let's see if she chills out. Okay, so I want to add. Let's add one more when we set up our renderer, and then let's make it 4. Let's make it 3 rows of 4. So we'll put the first row here. And I guess it would be kind of fun to have them like go twice as fast or faster every time. So basically, whenever we set up our animation visualization, we'll run it like this. And then we'll do 4 this time. So that's row number 2. And then we'll do a second later, we'll set up our animate. And we don't really need to wait to, because all the animation does, setting up the animation does is, I love you too. And then this is row 3. And then we can set up the animations. The setup visualization needs to wait a second because the actual HTML elements don't exist yet. But animate visualization doesn't care about the HTML elements. All it does is set up data for the animation loop to update. And see, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm only gonna be able to keep all that stuff in my head. I think I've hit the limit on what I can keep in my head. So I'm gonna have to start making some sort of architectural drawings or something so that I can keep this stuff straight in my head. I was thinking today, it's kind of like a family tree. It's kind of like if you're a parent and you have a wife, it's pretty easy to remember your wife's name. And then if you have 5 kids, it can get challenging, but you can kind of get them confused. But for the most part, you can remember your 5 kids' name. And then if your 5 kids have 5 kids each, then you can probably do it, but it's going to be tricky to remember all 25 grandkids' names, all 5 kids' names, and your wife's name. But once they have grandkids, that's it for me. You know, so at that point, I would have to have like a family tree, and I'd be like, oh, okay, so and so is going to come visit, and he's going to bring kids, his kids, and then so let me go look at the family tree and make sure I have all their names all straight and stuff like that. You know, and I think that's how this application's getting. It's getting to the point where it's scaled up. Yeah, Rhett, we're scaled up to the point where I'm not gonna be able to remember all these things. So now I need to come in here, and I only did the one. So let's change this to modulus anytime the modulus is equal to 1, so that's the remainder. When divided by 4 is equal to 1, then we're going to do this thing. And anytime the modulus is equal to 2, we're going to do this thing. And anytime the modulus is equal to 3. And it's kind of weird that I ever thought that would have worked, like index is equal, like that I didn't put that together. And it is kind of nice. And doing this in a super, like literally all the code I did in yesterday's video would have probably taken me, I don't know, I just don't know, but I think it would have been about 2 minutes. So I would have gone through all those processes in 2 minutes. So, but I did it in like 30 minutes. So I was like in super, super slow motion. It's like taking a picture, a fast frame picture, and then slowing it down. Like, so I'm doing things at work, I would have done it literally 10 times faster. I'm slowing everything down so I could try to figure out where I can improve my techniques and get a little bit better and get a better understanding. So we should have 3 rows that take 3 seconds, and everything should get faster as we go. And that's exactly what we have. So that's nice. And then, so what would be really tricky is to try to do it the other way around, where the top one is the slowest and the bottom one is the fastest. But that would get very, very tricky, and it's like, is it really worth it? Is it worth spending all that time on that? I think it would be kind of fun to do another one at 3 seconds. Now, it would be easy to turn that into like a function that we just call. So I think that's really neat. I mean, I just think it is really neat. Um, and I guess because of space, it only makes sense to do 5 rows. I don't think 6 rows will fit on very well. Maybe. So this is fun, right? This is like, to me, a really, really fun time. Now I did notice that like if I go 2 days in between videos that I get like, so if I go 1 day between videos, I'll get like 5 to 10 views. Okay, that was weird. Oh, it's because I can't do more than 16. It, that is some sort of limit that we're hitting, right? Like, so if we go look at our console, we'll see that bug towards the top that says that too many renderers or whatever. Let's see. Oh, I don't know when. So at some point here, there we go. Too many active oldest contact. Oh, so actually that totally makes sense. So it says, hey, we hit this warning. There's too many active. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say about that. But it looks like we just hit some sort of not possible to increase the limit. You could write your own browser. Oh, so this looks like it might be a browser. Let's see. Have you ever seen hair? Have you ever seen this? My gosh. Seen this hair. Okay. Oh, 16 per page. So apparently, yeah. So I've hit a browser limit that you just can't go beyond 16. That's neat. That, guys, everyone, girls, if you're watching, ladies, men, gentlemen, we have leveled up. We know something that very few people know, and that's that you can only have 16 renderers on the screen at one time. There's only one way to learn this, and that's the hard way. And we learned it. So that's good. That makes me happy. That's why we do this stuff. I guess so, Rhett. I guess we're ready. So, anyways, that's why we do this. I think this is awesome. I think it's neat to see something like this. I think I could just sit there and look at something like this all day long. I think it's going to be really cool. I think the next coolest thing that we could do. So I have to get import export working. That has to happen. But right after I get import export working, well, before I get import export working, I want to get to where instead of us I want to be able to manually add these with a button instead of doing it like this, and then kind of have something very along these lines, but that is more driven by Cypress. I think that would be really, really cool. And then before I move on from there at all, I have to get import export working, because there's going to be a part, and I think we're quickly getting to that point where it will no longer be feasible to implement it. And the way I'm going to do import export, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to make it to where like you can double click on one of these and then it brings up the JSON, and then you can copy the JSON out, you can tweak it, and then you can paste the JSON back in, and then it'll update. Or you can import directly from a JSON by having a text box. At least once I have that interface working, I don't have to worry about, like, as long as I keep that interface working, then upload and download shouldn't be that big of a deal, I hope. That could be a bad assumption. I think that's a good assumption. I think if you can paste it in and copy it out, that's really no different than upload and download. We'll see. We will test that theory, that hypothesis. But anyways, I think this is awesome. I think we've proven what we want to prove. I think we are quickly, I never really conceived of it, but we are quickly getting to the point where I don't think I can just visualize and understand everything anymore. starting to have a hard time visualizing in my brain. And all of the moving parts. Let's just throw that out there. Draw diagrams, Excel draw, Draw.io, or even pen and paper to sketch out high-level art. So looks like Draw.io or Excel draw might be a good thing. A component tree or tree dependency diagram might be. Yeah, so I'm already doing that. I think I couldn't have got to this size without that. I wonder if I don't say anything, if she'll keep doing that. So we definitely do a lot of this. We're already doing that. We're already doing that. MindMeister. So I might try that. MindMeister to visualize dependencies. I wonder what MindMeister is like. What time is it? 8:38. What do you think, Rhett? Do you think MindMeister might be cool? Wonder if it's free. Let's customize. Let's see what we got here. So I don't really want their marketing analysis, and I actually wouldn't mind that, except for there's no way to tell. They will. I think this means we'll sell it to anybody. We can sell this data to anybody, and you agree to it, and it doesn't matter how evil or what kind of monsters they are. We're happy to sell it to them. I feel like that's what that means, and until there's a little bit more legal sort of documentation, trackability of people, I just can't purposely agree to this. Wow, so that's tricky too. All right, visualize it, collaborate, manage your tasks, share with the world. So I'm guessing I have to give them my Google account. And these are just new things, just absolutely new concepts. See, now here I probably end up agreeing to having all that marketing data taken anyways. So it's great that they had me, that I got to do this part. But then here it all goes out to the, then they probably at this point have got some legal stuff that lets them just sell whoever they feel like selling to. Very, oh my gosh, what a pain in the butt. All right, guess it's probably not a good idea to open my email on camera. All right, so I'm off camera, I'm activating my account. Okay, then they put me into a whole nother, they launched a new browser for me from when I activated my account, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. Personal or home. Next. Next, Marty's team. Next. Learn Canvas. Smart goals. seems like what I want is a knowledge map. What was this thing? Business and goals, project management. Oh, I wonder if they have like a computers. Layout, org chart, and a list. Oh, okay, here's, we can see all the different things. I feel like layout was probably, and it looked like mind map was what I wanted. And I click the mind map and it just pops, it just does that. Who the hell knows what that does? Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. At this point, this doesn't make any sense at all. I can't close it. I want to start with, so I guess down here is, maybe that changed. I don't know. I think something may have broke. Reload. And then hit refresh. All right, my map. What do I call this thing? That's interesting. 3JS. Right, that's what we have. And then I don't know what we're supposed to do at this point. Let's see. Add media. Create a task. Plus. Oh, okay. This will make a little arrow, I guess. And then let's say animations. And can I move this? Plus. So then I also want to do another plus. Let's see, what else do we have? We have, what other concepts do we have? We have, so okay, so I guess the best way to kind of break this down would be to look at our types, I guess, our interfaces. So we have our 3. And then we have our showtime. And that's basically the stuff that's inside of showtime. And then we have our, so we have 3, we have animation 3, and we have triple, we have visualization. So I'm guessing, yeah, so this is our, oh, okay. So within showtime, we have the concept of, well, I guess we called that a separate thing, a visualization. And so then I think, like inside of 3, we have our camera, geometry, material, mesh, renderer, and scene. No. So that was for a sibling. I didn't want that. What I want is, so let's just say camera. This does not work very well on this size of a screen. So we got camera, geometry. I think what we want to do is this add a sibling. material. And then and it's kind of interesting because while these are right for interfaces, it's not quite right for this view. Because really what this has is, so that's interesting. So I think that's useful. Can I just delete this? Yeah, delete and delete. And what we really want is our render, right? Render. Actually, you know, now that I kind of look at what this is, it actually is amazing that so we have like our camera and our visualization. Oh, we have a scene. Oh, okay. So we have our visualization too. Yeah, so even this is weird now that I look at this. And so under 3, it's the same way. Okay, so let's, anyways, can I save this? Maybe this is something that we should spend a few minutes every day just sort of playing around with until we get something that sort of is a little easier. I wonder what you get for upgrading. So free, 3 mind maps, unlimited collaborators, templates, presentations, focus mode. Personal 650. Unlimited mind maps, 2 attachments per map. So I'm guessing these are like videos and stuff. 7-day version history. Private maps, file exports, print mind maps, and Microsoft Teams integration. Pro. $10 a month. You know, like, oh man, for my age group, it is very, very tough to justify spending on stuff like this, spending money, because this stuff can just add up so fast. But my son, like, who doesn't have anywhere near as much money as me, my youngest son, is like he pays for tons of these sorts of the types of things. Actually, I think both my sons paid for tons of these sorts of things. Um, but anyways, I probably should have. Let's see what happens if I go back to Mind Masters now. I should have bookmarked it because I think I'm gonna at least see what happens. We'll try using this. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete that one. All right, and then let's see what we have in this one now. So I think that was a good start. It definitely, this visualization definitely made me understand how little I actually understand the architecture of this application. Even though I do think it's a solid architecture, I didn't document the architecture. I do wish that I could drag these over here. Oh, looks like I can. For some reason, it doesn't quite work the way I want it to work. But it would be nice if I could drag them into any kind of spot that I want to drag it in. But anyways, it kind of seems like my animations is actually under here, because animations are tied. Well, the problem is the animations, like right now I only have them on a material, but at some point I'm going to want to be able to animate the camera. At some point I'm going to want to be able to animate everything else. So like animations does kind of need to be over here, but I need to be able to like connect a line to this from different things. What is this? Add connection. Oh, okay, that's nice. Okay, so that isn't wrong, but that was nice. Okay, yeah. So anyways, it seems like this is something I need to do. And this is definitely something I don't do. Um, I think Rhett must like these pictures because she got quiet. and all that. But anyways, it is 8:51, so I need to log off to go to work. Um, I think maybe I need to do this sort of thing more often. I think you know, it might make life a little easier for me to it may make life a little easier for me to sort of just get through, understand what's going on, and then number two, it might make me able to scale to larger applications without problems. But I do like this. Did I bookmark it? No. So let me bookmark this, and I think this may become part of my life. Done. Probably didn't want to bookmark this map, but maybe I did. Let's see what happens. Um, guess I need to hit this button. Yeah, I probably did want to bookmark this map, actually. Yeah, I like it. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. What are we going to do next time? Next time, I'm definitely not going to just sit here doing mind maps. Um, so we got this working. I think at this point, I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to clean up my code, get it ready for commit, update any unit tests that need to be updated. I can't remember, like, if we look at our changes here. I really need to get off here. Yeah, okay, so yeah, we need unit tests for hash service and visualization service, it looks like. Let's see. Well, I don't know. I don't see anything in here that we need to do. I wonder what the change is. Let's make this bigger. Let's see if it'll... Oh, visualization service is brand new. Really? Interesting. Hash service. Now, I know that one's brand new, but ST visualization... Okay, so that's new. So we added a bunch of stuff. So anyways, yeah, then write any unit test, get myself back up to 100% code coverage. I don't think I need to change anything on Cypress yet, and commit this. And then the last part of, well, I don't know, either the last or the second to last part of getting started will be to add a little drop down here where I can add one of these. It would be fun to reload this and see what it looks like at this size. So that's pretty cool. It's definitely not as cool as when, you know, it was the right four actual things, you know, because then we could see these guys together. But anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.